2025. It's a new year that in turn gives new opportunities, but more importantly, new perspective. This leads me to ask you the most important question of your entire life. Who will you be? Deep down, there's traits and experiences that we all have that we would pay our last dollar to get rid of. Traits that halt our transformation from chrysalis to butterfly. I challenge myself and you alike to overcome these negative aspects of ourselves so that we can become our ideal best self. One day, one moment, one action at a time. But what happens after you make these changes? Will you finally be happy and fulfilled? Or will you lead a life with even more sadness and void? Well, there are many friends and tools that we will get along this journey that we call life, and allow me to offer you one of each, with me being the friend and this song being the tool. Tame Impala's discography has helped me become a better person as a whole, but this song specifically helped me answer the question that I asked you at the beginning of this video. Who will you be? My name is Dam, or Shamsterdam, and today we're gonna break down New Person, Same Mistakes by Tame Impala and learn some crucial things about ourselves along the way. So there are 3 important building blocks of this song that will allow us to understand it and use it to aid our own lives. The first being block number 1, your circle. Before the 2000s, your circle consisted of the people around you, family, friends, co-workers, and that's about it. Now 25 years later, the world has changed so much socially that we have to redefine what our circle really is. Now it's kind of hard to put a definition on your entire social world, but I define your circle as anyone or anything that you give a significant amount of time to. So in addition to the 3 groups before, we now have YouTube, podcasts, X, artists, Instagram, etc. For some folks, they give more attention to these new sources of entertainment than their own families and friends. Just check your screen time. So when Tame Impala sings, I can just hear them now. How could you let us down? He's referencing his circle at this point, and more importantly, his fans. If you're not familiar with him, Kevin Parker, or Tame Impala, is a genreless artist known for switching his style from album to album. In this lyric, he's referencing how he can foresee his fans saying he switched up on them by moving toward more of a pop sound and straying away from his rock roots. I personally can relate to Kevin on this one. I recently started changing the style of my videos, and some of my famsterdam was not feeling it at all. It puts me, Kevin, Gibson, and you at a proverbial crossroad. Do I A, keep doing what people want me to do as is tried and true, or B, do my own thing regardless of the change that it may bring? Thankfully, Kevin gave us some lines to help navigate this maze in the dark. Finally taking flight, I know you don't think it's right. I know that you think it's fake, but maybe fake's what I like. The point is, I have the right, not thinking in black and white. Thinking it's worth the fight. To give more context, I'll explain what this means line by line. When he says, I know you don't think it's right, he's saying, I'm aware that you don't agree with my decision to change. I'm aware that you think I'm doing this change to gain money, popularity, or even something else. When he says maybe fake's what I like, he's saying this work that you perceive as fake and not authentic is something that I truly adore and put time, effort, and love into, regardless of how you feel about it. It's my life, and I'm allowed to live it as I see fit. I'm aware of what the obvious thing to do is, however, I'm choosing to think in a different way. Thinking it's worth the fight means the change that I'm implementing means so much to me that I'm willing to have a disagreement with you about it. These lines are so impactful because they can mean so many things to so many different people in different situations. Your parents' influence on your life decisions after high school, your decision to leave a relationship, even business owners and their diehard consumers. Never let anyone live vicariously through you. Live your life the way that you see fit. Now that we've established a level of understanding between ourselves and our circle, we have to tackle the most arduous, the most difficult aspect of becoming a new person. Block number 2, I versus I. In the hook of New Person, Same Old Mistakes, there's 2 voices talking at the same time, with each trying to overtalk and overpower the other. Can you guess what these two voices are meant to represent? Because I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to really understand. The first voice, the more positive of the two, is our gut instinct or our intuition. You can tell that the more positive of the two is truly our intuition because it always speaks first. The other voice is merely a reaction to our intuition or our internal pushback. It tells us our perception from others, our deepest insecurities, pretty much every logical reason why we shouldn't listen to our intuition. Now, this conversation is completely internal, but by Kevin choosing to use the two separate voices, it allows us to relate to him because we've all had this happen to us. Maybe it's something that you've always wanted to do, but you've been scared of how people would see you. I have a friend named Chris, and he's at this point exactly. He doesn't know what career he wants to pursue. Now, bro is smart enough to do either one, and the people around him only give him positive feedback no matter his endeavor, which takes the circle completely out of the situation and leaves him in a more even complex battle with himself. The relatability in this song can feel comforting for someone like Chris, as we go through life sometimes, it feels like no one truly understands the struggles that we go through. If you're like my friend Chris and stuck at this I versus I stage, you have to do two things. First off, trust your gut. And second, figure out what it is that you truly want most in this life. You also got to give yourself a little bit of time. Things don't happen overnight. Let it happen. No pun intended. For some it took minutes, for some it took years, but you finally got past the I versus I stage. So what's next? The final block of the story, the realization. Unlike most stories, the realization doesn't come at the end for this song. In fact, you could say quite the opposite. The bridge of the song carries the bulk of the realization reading, and I know that it's hard to digest, but maybe your story ain't so different from the rest. Now, for the longest, I've listened to this song and misinterpreted that line, thinking that it was our internal pushback just being negative as it usually is. But it's actually the two voices reconciling and coming to a point of agreement. The quote-unquote new person that Kevin is made currents. The album that New Person's Same Mistakes is the outro on. When the voice says maybe your story ain't so different from the rest isn't talking about the entire world. The rest is referencing the past version of himself, the one that made Inner Speaker and Lonerism, his other two albums. Inner Speaker and Lonerism are two very introspective albums, just like Currents ended up being, despite the genre switch that was supposed to be the quote-unquote new person. So what does this mean for you and me? As sad as it sounds, there is no new year, new me. You're never really a new person. Those horrible memories, moments, and flaws that we would pay anything to get rid of are now part of your story. And instead of wishing they'd leave you alone or that you could get rid of them, embrace them. Turn that horrific, inescapable dark into a light for you and others around you. Now, I won't lie, you will have hiccups. You're a human. You're perfectly imperfect. But those moments where you let that darkness win, it's not the end of your story. The paper is on the desk. The pen is in your hand. Now write your story. At the end of the day, I just want you to be the best version of you in your eyes, whatever that really means. And I hope that this song and this video helps you along your path. I love y'all.